This is Wednesday, May 15th. There are 63 days until San Diego Comic-Con 2019. Welcome to SDConCast, the official podcast of the San Diego Comic-Con unofficial blog.
VANUHTEE go.
Oh my god, I love LiveJournal and my LiveJournal loves me. Current mood is hyperactive, current music refuse 73. I love the color scheme, it's pink and purple, it looks green.
Good evening, all. I am your host, James Riley, and joining me on the podcast tonight, as always, Carrie Dixon.
Hey guys, thanks so much for joining us. And I have the Taco Bell box for later, as promised.
All right. And joining us this year, is it your first appearance this year? Kim Twombly from Outside Comic-Con?
I think so, right? Who knows? They all
I
blend
think
together. Hi, everyone.
And also joining us for her first time on the podcast, also new to the blog this year, Erin Tapkin.
First time.
All right.
Thanks for asking me.
Of course. Welcome, Erin.
And our special guest, Patrick Ballesteros, is going to be joining us very soon. He actually has a class tonight that he's teaching. So he'll be joining us as soon as that finishes and he can get to his computer. So what we're going to do, first off, is any comments and questions during the show, tweet us at SD_comic_con or use the hashtag SDConCast. We will also be keeping an eye on the YouTube live chat if you wish to comment or question there. We're going to kick it off with exclusives. We're going to go right into the news. And so, first up is Factory Entertainment revealed a few more exclusives. And let me get to the first one here. And the first one is the Creature from the Black Lagoon and Frankenstein. Let's see, the Creature from the Black Lagoon is the cast metal bottle opener, 5.5-inch bottle opener from the film. That will retail for $20. And then wine toppers of both the Creature from the Black Lagoon and Frankenstein. And those will retail for $25 as a set. And
I love those wine stoppers so much.
Yeah, those are cool. They had some last year from, what was it, from Game of Thrones?
They've done Game of Thrones before. I think they did something else, but yeah.
Okay. And then they also have a Gotham City PD police credential set, a GCPD, that you can see there. And that will retail for $15.
15? Yeah.
And there was a 2017 Flash set that they will also have available. That will be an additional $10 if you want to pick up both of those.
And that was the exclusive back in 2017.
Yeah. And then they released, I think it was today, the Revos Revolution vinyls, an Aquaman translucent ocean blue, and a Child's Play knife-wielding Chucky with a little pool of blood at his feet there.
Yeah.
Those are $15 each. And look,
is that a new series for them?
the Revos?
Yes,
The Revos?
the Revos. Yeah, it's a new series for them.
They're
So these
cute.
are the first two?
No, it's not the first two. They did some Jurassic Park ones and a couple others, but they're relatively new.
Are they made out of vinyl or they?
Yeah, they're vinyl.
They're vinyl, but
Vinyl.
they have some kind of base where like you can like knock them and they won't fall over.
They won't fall.
I haven't
Oh,
seen them in
magnets? How do
I
they
guess.
work?
little sticks in their feet, I would assume.
Gotcha.
If they're loose.
All right.
But as usual, you can order them to be shipped after the show, or you can pick them up at the show by ordering them in advance, or just pick them up at the show if you're going to risk it. But why would you risk it? And you can also enter to win most of their exclusives on our site.
And on that note, I do believe we have our special guest.
We do.
Hey, Patrick.
Hi, can you guys hear me okay?
We can.
Yeah, you sound great.
Okay, perfect. Hello.
Thanks for joining us.
No. I'm always happy to see you guys, whether it be online or in person.
And we are always happy to see you as well. All right, so let's just get right into this then, if you're ready.
Sure.
All right.
Let's do it.
So real quick, I think I speak for everyone on our staff. We just wanted to say thank you again for that lovely piece that you did of our staff last year. And I think we've got it
no
here,
problem.
actually. Yeah, that was so great. We really appreciated that.
That was awesome.
So-
I mean, you made me look cool, so
Yeah, me too.
I appreciate
I love
that.
it.
If you
You're
can't
all cool.
wearing 2 pairs of
Talk about
glasses, you made me look cool.
Yeah, the two
That's right.
the two pairs of glasses on James are it's pretty great.
Well, one's obviously the blog sunglasses.
Yeah,
So.
yes, yeah.
Should always
That's
have
great.
two sunglasses just in case. You're ready for emergencies. That's what
Right.
that's what I'm
That's
saying.
right.
Man.
Okay.
All right. So
So
ahead.
let's just get right into this. You've been attending Comic-Con in San Diego for years. How does it compare to the other conventions that you go to?
I would say just scale-wise, nothing really does compare. The amount of people, as well as I think it's just the atmosphere and vibe. I mean, you walk in there, and I wouldn't say, well, yeah, it's overwhelming if you've never been there before. But I think there's just a level of excitement that it's at other cons, but this con, it's just like elevated somehow. And I don't know, I can't really describe how that happens.
Oops, someone
We
went.
agree.
So,
Kim?
Hi,
Okay.
Patrick. This is Kim. I'm
Kim.
sorry, my internet is being wonky. I apologize.
No problem.
So my question for you, I know you tweet. I think you were just teaching a class. You tweet a lot about your teaching. Can you tell us about? Sorry, hang on, stand by. How that goes and how it leaves time for your art and all the exclusives that you put out for us, like all those behind you.
It's the schedule gets intense, especially since I announced and put my foot in my mouth that I'm doing 100 mini originals.
I know you're crazy.
Borderline crazy, stupid. It's kind of the same for me. It's okay. I'm at like 42 right now, so I only have 60 more to go. So it's one of those things where my schedule works around my teaching, because teaching is one of my main sources of income. So I am level-headed. I just don't do. A lot of people think I do. Oh my God, you must do all these cons. Like, no, I only do 4 a year consistently. It's just that I try to do each con as big as I can, and that's why I only do 4, so that I can create new work for each con and also have a life, hang out with my wife, my son, and teach. I teach at 2 places. I teach online and I teach physically at a school called the Concept Design Academy in Pasadena, and online at a school called Computer Graphics Master Academy, but just CGMA for short. And those classes, it's not like it's a 4-year program or anything like that. It's mainly for professionals taught by professionals, or even people looking to become a professional, entertainment-wise, or product design, industrial design, graphic designers. I've had all sorts of students, even some directors and others just learning just how to communicate better with drawing. The class that I teach is called Dynamic Sketching, and it's a foundation class, not necessarily just for beginners, but for everyone just looking to see something from life, whether it be an animal, a car, a fire hydrant, and look at it and say, you know what, I can actually draw that. So we take the fear out of drawing by being able to look at it through a lens of simplicity. And I think that's the hardest thing to do, is like to be a kid again and draw like a kid. Like, I look at my son and I see some of his work and I'm like, damn, that could be an exclusive. If I could just kind of package that right. But yeah, that's basically how the class is structured and what I teach. And it's basically lends itself to going into illustration, design, and all sorts of mediums, not just entertainment drawing.
Awesome, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, and wanting to, looking at it in the exclusive mindset kind of shows how Comic-Con is seeped into your brain.
Oh yeah.
So at Comic-Con, you always have a line down the aisle in Artist Alley. What do you think draws people to your work?
Exposure, because I always ask them, how do you hear about me? And I'll say, you guys have a lot, if not everything, to do with that line. I mean, I don't think I've had a line that large at other shows, maybe a few people deep here and there. But I think a lot of it is, yes, I get a lot of recurring customers. But now I think the recurring customers are coming at the same time as a lot of the new people exposed to my work via the blog. So that's when that line starts to extend more and more out. It's just a lot of people becoming familiar with my work and coming back each year. So I think that has helped me, of course, as well as releasing exclusives, has helped that line become as formidable as it has become the last couple of years. So thank you to all of you guys for helping me out.
Well, that's very kind, but your work definitely speaks for itself. So speaking of Comic-Con though, and as you mentioned earlier, I am every year astounded by just how much work you put out. Like, I mean, you know, I think you're crazy for doing 100 mini originals, but but you're not only doing that. You're also doing like your regular prints, your regular exclusives, commissions. Like, how do you possibly stay inspired like when you're making that much work?
I think it's just more of how absurd the amount of work that I've taken on for this con. A lot of people are like, oh, how do you balance out, you know, your job and your freelance? Well, honestly, I haven't taken that much freelance unless it really piques my interest. And then job-wise, like I said, everything revolves around the teaching. So I have a set amount of hours that I know that I have to teach and do stuff. So basically everything else around that is just either, you know, doing stuff with the family or con, preparing for con. I was preparing for con when last year's con ended. And thinking about exclusives and things like that. And for anyone watching this and thinking about, you know, comic conventions and something like that, San Diego Comic-Con is the show. You know, there's no doubt about it. Everyone knows that that's the show. My mentality going into the show every year is that I may not come back next year. Something might happen. Maybe they won't let me in. I don't know. I may not come back. It's never a guarantee. So that's why I treat each year as it's my last year, and I'm going out with a bang. Like, I'm going out, not like the Night King, that was kind of, but I'm going out with a bigger bang. Okay? So that's why.
That's nice.
Sorry. Hi.
It's okay. That's okay. I mean, I think that's a great way to look at it, though. And clearly it's working for you. So, real quick, go ahead for anybody who doesn't know and just tell us about the mini originals that you're doing, like what the concept is.
Cool. So, yeah, these are always behind me. I didn't put them there, I swear. No, okay. So, let me see if I can do these. So, these are the mini originals. They're about business card size, and they're all coming framed. The concept behind these was, I know not everybody can afford commissions. So I was trying to find a way that I could provide people the opportunity to get an original drawing from a convention without having to spend $300, $400, $500. These are all $45 each, framed, ready to go. They're all signed. They're all original pen and ink marker sketching. The only hitch is there's one of each, and it's first come, first served basis. So that's why probably there'll be a line, and you're not necessarily guaranteed you're going to get the one you want, but that's why I'm doing 100 so that there's 20 each day. So at least I'm hoping that 20 different people each day are going to get one. I doubt it. I know there's some people that get in, sneak in, sleep in somehow, and are able to get in line all the time. It's like, they're like magicians. I have no idea how they do it. But that's the idea, is to get as many people, different people, the opportunity to get an original piece of artwork.
And they went like that at WonderCon, didn't they?
Yeah, it was like one day it was 5 minutes, and then the other day took a little bit longer, but like the max was 15, 20 minutes, they were gone. And I only had 5, so hopefully we'll see what happens. Hi.
Hi, Patrick. I'm Erin. It's nice to
Erin.
meet you.
You too.
I'm so intrigued by these 100 different ones. And these are ones that you've never done before? Are they characters you've done before and just different versions?
Yeah, characters I've done before, but different poses, doing different things. So I've done I think at least 10 or 12 Game of Thrones ones, just because it was easy reference, because okay, I'm just watching it, might as well do it now. And now looking at your backdrops as to see a thing, I'll probably do a thing one as well, because it's right there. So there's so many characters, and it's like, oh my God, I could do so many. And then I get stuck on it. Oh shoot, which one should I do? So when it kind of presents itself, of course, I'll do ones that are kind of in the now, like of course Avengers Endgame and Game of Thrones. But then I'll throw in some where it's just kind of random, like, oh, it's a character. I don't know if anyone's going to get it, but I like it. And there's
You
probably
gotta
one
do
other
those.
person.
You have to do the deep cuts for people. You got to get in there. Yes.
I really dug the Soundwave one you did at WonderCon.
Oh man, that one was ridiculous. It was like that and Carrie's Great Mouse Detective just opened a floodgate of people. It was obscene. I was like, whoa. Like, oh, can I buy that? Can I buy that? Like, no, it's done. I'm sorry.
You underestimated us, Great Mouse Detective fans.
Well,
Exist.
I forgot how good it was, so I actually bought the Blu-ray and then I watched it again. Like, oh, maybe I'll do something with it. So we'll see.
You should. Just saying.
Do you ever create a piece that you want to keep for yourself, or do you keep a lot of your own stuff, or do you have a favorite that you just wouldn't want to give up?
Well, there, like the Soundwave one that was mentioned, I was like, oh, I kind of want to keep this one. But then when I posted it, I saw all these people like wanting it, and in my head, I'm like, it's cool, but I can always draw another one. You know what I mean, I would rather. The reason why I love doing these drawings and making these things is not just seeing it do well online, but it's actually more the person that gets it. When I see their face, I'm like, oh my God, I was waiting for this. This is the one I wanted. That's like a cool feeling. I did a Winona Earp one, and this girl, I think she was probably like 10 or 11. She came with her mom, and the mom was telling me, oh yeah, I said, let's just try. We know it's like 20 minutes into the show. I mean, it's probably gone, but let's just try. And they got there, and it was still there, and she got it. And she just had this look. It was like, oh my God, this is the one I wanted. And as an artist, you don't see that every day. And when you see your artwork do that to a person, it's really cool. It's a super cool feeling.
So shifting over to your latest series, the Can You Hear Me Now pieces, how did that idea come about?
A commission from WonderCon last year. So in 2018, this woman, her and her bestie had been living together for years, and one of them her friend was going to move, like I think within a few weeks or months, and that was the first time they're going to be apart. And so she asked for a commission that would keep them together. And I said, well, instead of just one, how about two, so each of you could have a commission to keep you guys connected somehow. They said, okay, cool. And I had no idea what I was going to do. And so when I was drawing it, I was like, well, what could keep them together? I said, oh, the tin can stuff. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. And so I did one with a tin can, and they connected at the same spot. And then after I gave them that commission, I was like, oh, shoot, that was kind of fun. And that's kind of cool. And I was like, oh, and then I started experimenting, playing around. And the first time I did it, they never connected at the same part. So I was like, oh, crap, I got to redo all these. So it's a lot of trial and error figuring out. And the other reason why I like doing them is I was able to cover a lot of different characters in a short amount of time. Because the Wonders, man, sometimes I put too many characters. And I'm like, oh God, it's gonna take me forever to finish. Whereas the tin can ones is like maybe 2 or 3, and I'm like, okay, I can handle this today.
Do you have a favorite of the tin cans that you've done? Like a weird mashup that you're like, this is awesome?
I'm trying to think right now. I think the one that it's a really popular one, and I still like it too, because it's not within like the pop culture realm. Now it is, because the movie did well, but the Freddie Mercury and David Bowie one is one of my favorites. It's because it was just like,
that's a good one.
It's not a comic book character, but it was just like a fun. And I mean, I would always watch. I watch that Live Aid concert every time to get pumped up every once in a while when I'm starting a big work project and things. And it's just like a lot of energy, even when you're drawing that guy. There's so much energy there.
That's awesome. All right. So I want to talk about the Game of Thrones pieces that you've been doing. And for anyone listening, I guess possible spoiler alerts, but you've been doing some, yes, you've been drawing an awful lot of Game of Thrones lately, basically about this season. Can you just talk a little bit about what the show means to you and why you wanted to commemorate that, or the show, I guess, with these gorgeous pieces that you've been doing?
So full disclosure, I never read the books, and I didn't get into Game of Thrones probably until season 3 or 4. My friend had told me about it, and he said like, oh yeah, it's on. And then I think I caught like a run of 2 or 3 episodes while I was staying at a hotel with my wife, and they had, because I didn't have HBO. This is before streaming. And so I watched it, and I was like, oh damn, this is really good. And then like all the battles, and then I was like, holy crap, this is really good. So I went back and tracked down the episodes legally, of course, and I watched them all. And then I just got really into that world. And so what made me want to commemorate this last season, I don't know. I think that episode where it was all of them doing their thing, and especially with Brienne getting knighted and all that stuff, it was just like, man, that's really good. And I think the idea popped into my head of just drawing Winterfell and just designing around that. So I always wanted to do a series of things where I'm showing like a cutout interior of things going on in buildings, people's heads, things like that. It's not like a super original idea, but I wanted to do my take on it. And I think I just had such a clear idea in my head of what I wanted to do after that episode. I just drew it the next day, and then I colored it and finished it that week. So it was really fast, even for me. And the other part why I did it is I was playing around with my iPad, and I did everything in Procreate, and that was the first time I've done a piece in that program, and it was just a blast. So I just kind of went with it. The follow-up, I was just more like, well, it just made sense. It's before the battle. I got to do it after the battle. And then now I think it just happened where it's almost like brushing my teeth. Like, oh, okay, I'm going to do another one this week. Because I actually just wrapped up on the line work for this last episode that everyone was screaming about. But hopefully the one that I did will make people a little happier.
Well, I'm definitely excited to see it. It's truly, like, especially those first two were just like gorgeous. And I love that you worked like pretty much everybody in. Like, they're just super fun. So you are going to do a 1-day sale for those on May 24th. Do I have that right?
Correct. Yes. Friday, May 24th. Yes. So 1 day
Okay.
sale.
Did you settle on price and size?
The size is 11 by 14. The price, I'm still figuring that out because I'm still working all the printing costs with my printer. But it's not gonna exceed 30, and the minimum is gonna be 25. So between 25 and 30. So I'm not looking to break the budget for people. So just around there. And then some people are asking if there's bundle deals. No, but if you get both prints, there might be a little surprise in there for you. I'll say that.
That's exciting. So for anybody who wants those, yes, you can get them online during his 1-day sale, or you can get them at the convention, right?
Yep, because I'm only going to be selling a few of them online, and if they sell out, don't get mad.
That's okay. All right, Erin?
Yes, Patrick. One thing I've been wondering is who inspires you? What artists inspire you? And who are some of your favorite artists?
Oh, there is a ton of artists. I mean, every artist says that. I think the one artist that I remember looking at when I was a kid, his name is Michael Golden, and he did a lot of work for Marvel, like Marvel Tales. I just remember two things that really stuck out. One, why I started looking at his work is because my brother would draw everything. Would do comic book covers, and I would copy everything that he would do. So he was copying Michael Golden comic book covers, and he did it like exact verbatim. And then when I tried it, it didn't look exact, looked horrible. So I got really irritated, and that's when I started doing my own thing. But I would always go back to Michael Golden, and there's one thing, for those listening, he did this one in the 80s, this big poster of all the Marvel superheroes just walking towards I don't know where. And that just always stuck in my head, like, oh my God, that's so epic. How can anyone draw that many characters in one picture? And I think subliminally or subconsciously, it's not subliminally, but subconsciously, that kind of seeped into my whole persona and things that I draw. Because, yeah, I'm working on one right now for the 50th anniversary. It's going to be an exclusive for the con where it's 100, I counted, it's about 120 characters. And I was just looking at it like, why did I do this? Oh my God. It's almost done, but yeah, that one almost killed me.
Is it all comic book characters?
One side is all comic book characters, and the other side is comics, TV, movies, and things like that. So, yeah, it's I won't say too much of it. Just that there's two sections, and one section is each their own thing. So definitely Michael Golden, and then also Bill Watterson. A lot of Calvin and Hobbes stuff. The humor. It felt like that dad humor that I get now a lot more. So in a lot of my stuff, there's a lot of puns, a lot of that dad humor. People go, really? That pun? I'm like, yeah, but it's good, right? They can't, they can't fight me if it's a good pun. And then I think I look at a lot of children's book illustrators. So comic book guys I love comic book guys, but I love looking at children's book illustrators. Some of my favorites, William Joyce. Yeah, Bill Joyce. He's a really good one. Dan Santant. And just a lot of the old school illustrators too, like Arthur Rackham, things like that. So I go all over the place. And I think that's where I could diversify my style, is by not just looking at comic books, but also illustration, even old school illustrators.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. All right, so we are going to take a couple of reader questions. So Night Bodega asked, Patrick, have you drawn Pennywise?
Which one? Tim Curry Pennywise or the new one? If there's,
I do not know.
Both of them freak me out, in all honesty. So I was going to draw the new Pennywise. I haven't done it yet. I'm still thinking if I'm going to do it. I did a tin can one where it was Carl and Ellie. It was an exclusive last year. So Ellie was on a balloon floating towards Carl, who was like wearing a cardboard box, and he was standing with a tin can. So I was going to do one that matched up to it, where Carl's on the tin can like this, and floating with the balloon is Pennywise, because they all float. But then I was like, awesome. That's pretty dark, man. I don't know. It's messed up.
It is dark, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So if I were to do dark one, I think it would still be that little twist of humor that kind of gives you a little jab and goes, "Oh my god, he did that!" I'm like, "Yep, I did that." But
Awesome.
for anything horror or like horror related, I honestly take that as the ultimate challenge to try and make that cute. Like for the last Game of Thrones, where basically everyone burns, my friend texted me right away, "So are you just going to draw burning dolls and things now for your next piece?" And I'm like, no, that's a little dark. Probably won't do that.
Or we were talking about Chucky when you popped in.
Talking about what?
We were talking about Chucky when you popped in. Like,
yeah,
there's potential for cuteness, cute horror.
No. Yeah, that's hard. Chucky is a difficult one because it's a doll that comes to life, man. No one wants that. It's just, now he can control drones. That's ridiculous. It's like, man.
All right, so Sir Lister of Smeg had a question about your mini originals. Do you allot a certain amount for each day, or is it just they're gone when they're gone?
20 each day, so that, like I said, we can get as many people as we can. So yeah, there's 20 new ones each day. And what I probably plan to do, I'm still trying to figure out how this is going to work, but I am going to release a schedule ahead of the con, so you know which 20 are going on what day, so you're not sitting there guessing, or if you only go one day or whatnot. Hopefully that'll help alleviate some of that traffic.
That's awesome. And speaking of awesome, one of our readers, Jim Lopez, said in the chat, "I have the Soundwave mini original that
cool.
you did." That is cool. All right. Johnny asked, I'm pretty sure the answer is yes, are the Game of Thrones originals that you did, are those going to be available at San Diego?
The mini originals? Yes, they will be.
Okay. I think they mean the originals of the two in cutout pieces.
The mini
they're digital, so.
Oh, the prints, like the art prints, like
No,
the big ones that I did.
Maybe.
I think he meant the mini originals.
Okay.
Yeah, the mini originals, yes. If it's the big ones, yeah, no originals for that.
Okay.
I can make one, but yeah.
Okay, and then David Norwood asked, are the Game of Thrones online prints, will they be signed?
Yes, they will be. I have a stamp, and I'm just kidding. Yeah, I sign each one.
Very nice. All right. Do you see any other questions, James?
I have not.
All right. Patrick, is there anything, not that like you don't tease stuff every single day, but is there anything else you can tease for 2019?
Let me see.
Yes.
Just for you guys. And it'll be on a screen so that it'll be kind of hard to see, and it's not finished yet. I'll show you the exclusive 50th anniversary, a sneak peek. Just for you guys. I don't know if that's coming through or not. There we go. Can you see that? Kind of
Oh, wow.
decent-ish.
Holy cow.
I saw Wolverine in there.
Yeah.
That's the only one I could pick out that quickly.
See, that is a sneak peek.
Yes.
But
Good
were you
That
able
is
to
a
see
sneak
kind of?
peek.
That was pretty awesome. You could just barely make out some of the characters. But
He's gonna screenshot that later.
that was awesome.
Yeah, thank you,
Pretty
Patrick.
good.
That's cool. Is that for the book, or you're not allowed to
No.
share, or?
No, not for any book or anything.
Oh, okay.
That's just gonna be an exclusive print that
Oh,
I'm gonna have.
lovely. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's
That's
going
a
to do
pretty
really
great
well.
tribute to the 50th Comic-Con. That's pretty great.
Yep. And I'm still trying to figure out something, a Stan Lee tribute. I think I have an idea, but I want to do something classy for that guy.
Very cool.
Well, you've got 60-something days. You can do it.
And
Oh my gosh.
only 60-something more mini originals to do. So
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
knock
got
out a
this.
couple a day, and you can get
Well,
your fit the Stan Lee pick.
I had to close my commission because I took on, I think I took on 40. So I was like, okay, I can do this.
That's
Wait.
quite a bit. And speaking of, Tisha just asked, will you take more commissions soon? And so I'm guessing the answer is no.
No, I'm telling people that by the end of June, I'll let them know. So if I can get through quite a bit through June, if I'm caught up, then I still have a few days before con, and I'll take a few more.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. Well, is there anything else we wanted to ask, guys?
We had one more question, but we don't have to get to it. Let's see. How long will it take to answer? Nightbodeg asks, what challenges have you faced getting where you're currently at?
Skill-wise, it's just being patient enough to get good. I think now, especially with how social media works, not getting caught up in it. And what I mean by that is not getting caught up in what's trending. So you have to do what's trending, not getting caught up in what's garnering more likes or not, even though that helps you, and it helps your followership and things like that. I think now more than ever, be watching out for that, especially as a young artist. And young, not meaning like you're 15 or 16 or whatever, but young meaning young in your career, is you want to develop healthy habits. And I think social media can be good, but it can be also very, very bad if you kind of use that as the bar to test how good your artwork is. Getting out there and communicating with artists and other people, I think, is one of the best things to do in your career, so that you have other people to rely on when you get in a jam for your art. Because you don't just want artists looking at your work. You want people that aren't artists that appreciate art to look at it also, because they'll give you kind of that unfiltered eye and give you that quick response like, yeah, it doesn't work. I don't know why I just said, but it doesn't work. Because my wife does that all the time to me. And even though I hate it so much, I'm like, yeah, you're right. And my son also, he's 5, but I did a commission, and I did a Game of Thrones commission, which I think I'm allowed to show it. Let me see. I don't know if you guys want to see it real quick.
Of course.
Always.
Hopefully they're not seeing this. So I did this commission. They wanted fire and ice. So I did that one. And the flames, the red, I didn't have it on there. And then my son's like, it needs red. I'm like, where? He's like, on the flames. And I'm like, there? He's like, yes, that's better. I'm like, okay. So like little things like that, I think it keeps you grounded. And as an artist, keeping grounded is very, very important. And even though you can, and when you do get that success, it's great, you want to just be careful that you don't take it for granted. And I think that could be a big obstacle. I mean, all artists have ego. You need part of that ego to keep you going, to make you want to create work that people get inspired by. But then you also have to be careful that it doesn't get out of control where you're like, yeah, I'm the, SHI whatever, I'm this and that. If I ever become like that, straight up tell me to my face, I'm being a D-bag, and, just whip me into shape. So yeah, I think those are some of the big obstacles to watch out for. Everything else, like learning and art and stuff like that, it kind of falls falls into place, and it's different for each person. That's why I don't like to give too much specifics on that, because each person's journey is different, and I think that's what you want to embrace.
That was a great answer. I mean, that was a great answer, and I think that's probably the perfect note to end on. So, Patrick, before we let you go, where can our readers find more of your work on the internet?
Instagram, Patrick Ballesteros. Twitter, Patrick Ballest. Facebook, that's for friends, and people don't go in there anymore. And then my website, patrickballesteros.com or patrickballesterosart.com.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciated it. And we can't wait to see, I'm sure, more of your Bitty originals here in a day or two.
Yep. They'll be coming out. Thank you, guys. I can't wait to see all of you again. Or am I seeing all of you again at the con?
You will.
You should.
Okay. Just making sure. I don't want to.
You should try to come to our reader meetup this year. It's actually on Sunday night. So.
Oh, where do you guys have that at? Or I'll get information from you later.
TBD.
So.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll do it later. But yeah, you should. So.
No, I will, because I
Patrick.
live here, so I should.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thanks, Patrick.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Take care.
Bye. All right. So we are going to jump back to the news now. James, do you want to do news, or do you want to go back to exclusives? What do you want to do?
Let's get right back into, let's just do the news. Start up on the news like we
Okay.
normally.
Okay.
All right. So first up is parking, which is underway. They had a few issues. Apparently the site went live at midnight or something like that, and some people were able to buy. It was still only group 1 that was able to buy, so no other groups were able to access the site still, but some people bought it before the 10 a.m. official start. But they're going to do some maintenance on Friday to make sure that doesn't happen again next week. So the site may be on Friday, right? Or is it first?
So it's not really maintenance. Basically, what they're going to do on Friday is there were some people who, because they had all the glitches, not only were people able to get through, but then when it actually did go live, like as with all things Comic-Con, we basically broke the site. That's just kind of what we attendees do. And some people were charged for parking, but they didn't actually receive parking. So what they've done for those individuals is they said, okay, truthfully, the easiest thing that we can do is we're just going to hold a special sale for you on Friday. And they made it sound like all the lots would be available. I don't know, don't hold me to that, but that's the way that the email read to me. So that's basically what's going to happen on Friday if you were one of those individuals.
All right. And Sir Lucius Meg asked in the chat, do you think the Bayfront will last until Group 3? Not likely. I think it sold out by Group 2 last year.
It usually sells out in Group 2. It usually goes Convention Center Group 1, Bayfront Group 2, and then usually nothing else really sells out. But
next up is some articles that we posted over the last week.
Yep. Starting with, every year we do this, and it's always really fun, but several of us on the site, Aaron and myself included, basically took a look at all of the movies that might or might not show up to Comic-Con. And they are grouped roughly in the order that we think they might show up, very rough. But we look at everything from all the different studios and we just break it down for you and say, like, this is why we think this might show up. This is why we think this probably won't show up. So if there's a movie that you're wondering if it might be up at Comic-Con, obviously we don't know anything for totally certain, but we usually have pretty educated guesses. So, and we'll be doing the TV stuff next week. Look for cable on Monday and broadcast on Wednesday. I might have those backwards. But TV next week.
Carrie, was there any movies that you thought were an absolute slam dunk? Like, there's no way we're not going to see this.
I mean, I can pretty much guarantee you that like the WBDC stuff is going to be there, like Joker and Birds of Prey. There's literally no universe in which those two don't show up.
Because WB shows up for 2 hours every Saturday at Comic-Con, and they always bring.
Yes, that is.
They've been bringing it now 6-7 years. They've been bringing their DCEU stuff.
I feel like Warner Brothers every year is the only studio that's guaranteed.
And they roll out those extra wide screens for that, don't they? Isn't that who does that?
Yeah, they usually do. So we usually get their DC stuff. We usually get like a family-oriented movie. I have a feeling, truthfully, that we might get Scoob this year, but don't hold me to that. And then they usually have something else. But there's a lot of I feel like there's a lot more potential this year. I feel like Paramount has an amazing lineup that they could bring. Sony has some really good stuff that they could bring. It sounds vaguely like Marvel's coming. Why else would you say us showing up would be a spoiler? Surely you're coming.
Yeah.
Not to
Star
mention-
Wars.
They keep saying summer.
Yeah, they keep
Yeah.
mentioning
Yes.
stuff they're doing in the summer, that they're going to be plans are in the summer. We'll reveal things in the summer.
And
And you would think
go ahead, Gary.
No, I was just going to say, you would think that if it was going to be at D23, they would just say, we're going to announce it at D23, considering it's in their family.
Yeah.
But, but yeah, there's some really good stuff. So I've got hope right now. We'll see how long that hope lasts, but this is the fun part of the year. No, seriously, because it's like anything can come.
Yeah.
And then
I
as you get
absolutely
closer,
agree.
it's like, they're not coming, they're not coming, they're not coming. But for right now, it's really exciting.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I've got for you.
Yeah, that was a fun article to do. That was fun to contribute to, and thinking about things in what could be possible, and why would they bring this, and who could be there for two different things, and make it more beneficial. It's a lot of fun. I would like to hear from some folks, though, some of the readers and some of the fans, what if they think that we're totally off base on something or spot on. I know a lot of people were mentioning, oh, I hope Marvel's going to be there. I hope you're right about Star Wars and things like that. But I want to hear what we got wrong.
Yeah, I thought it was an interesting comment. You were on the thread too about Bloodshot, because Sam, what's his name, from Outlander, he's probably filming Outlander at the time. And while normally that would mean they show up, with Outlander in the past, it actually hasn't. So anything could go.
That's right.
They can take a break for a day.
I mean, haven't places done that before? Flown a cast out just for the day and then flown them back?
Yes.
Yeah.
They absolutely
This is Comic-Con, and anything is possible. So
And you
think
would
positive.
think, especially with Valiant, this being the initial movie
Oh,
for
yeah.
their universe, they would want to make a splash.
Yep.
So I would assume that something would come because it comes out in February. It's perfect timing for it.
Perfect timing,
Yeah.
perfect cast, perfect property. It's their first one. I just think it's a slam dunk.
As long as it's good.
Yes.
If it's not that good, then they're not going to bring it.
Yeah, you make an excellent point. There's not a long storied history of independent comic book companies putting out movies that are great.
Yeah. But thankfully, they have Sony behind it. And
Yes.
Sony at least has something of a history in making superhero movies.
Yes.
Yes.
So we'll see.
And sooner rather than later, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. My favorite article this week, most recently, was the myths of SDCC, and we have a resident MythBuster, Robert. He shared some of the common myths that people hear about SDCC, especially people who haven't been there, including the hotels never being available, or that it's just a room full of people with bad body odor. My favorite myth that he completely busted, and that is easy to bust, is that there are no comic books at SDCC, which is that's absurd. There's comic books everywhere as long as you're looking for them. That's one of my favorites. And Carrie, you had some good statistics about the panels and the other programming that's all been comic book related, and you guys crunched the numbers on that pretty good the last few years.
We did. We haven't done it in a couple of years, but I mean, I really don't think that the panel breakup has changed that much. Actually, you keep talking and I'll look up what it was.
One of the things I wanted to ask James about was you were present for one of the great myths in Hall H, weren't you?
Yes, someone got stabbed in the eye at Comic-Con. And I was actually in Hall H that day. It happened somewhere in the back and we were near the front. So we were basically finding stuff out through social media just like everybody else was. And it was in the early days of Twitter. I think Twitter had only been around for a couple of years. But essentially what happened is two guys argued about sitting too close to each other or something like that. The police report was basically two men argued about one sitting too close to the other, like maybe they wanted a seat buffer or something like that. And then they started fighting or scuffling, and one of them had a pen and it happened to like scratch near the eye. So it caused some blood, but it wasn't like poking someone's eye out. So it wasn't that big. It was a big deal because, that never happens at Comic-Con. It was like the first time something big like that happened, but still it wasn't that big of a deal.
And that was 2010, is that right?
2010, yes.
2010.
No, right after the Resident Evil panel.
It was holding up the panel. I remember I was in line for Hall H and I saw the police walking out the gentleman, but it held up the panel. We couldn't get in for a long time.
Yeah, it delayed everything for at least half an hour.
Which in Comic-Con time is
forever,
an eternity.
Yeah.
So
real quick before we move on, I did pull up the panel statistics. So again, this is from a couple years ago, but I really don't think it's changed that much. So if you look at the total number of panels back in, this was 2014, television made up 11% of the total number of panels, movies made up 12%, and comics related panels made up 26%. So that is more than movies and television combined.
There you go.
See, plenty of comics.
Yeah, it's interesting. A quarter of the convention is comics, just straight comic related. Right. But you have to assume that if even if it wasn't straight comic related, that comics play a part in a lot of the other panels. Like some of the movies obviously are based on comic properties. Same thing with the television shows. So while comics may not be in every single panel specifically, they do inform probably close to half the panels that happen at Comic-Con, if not more.
Well, and what we say every single year is, look, like movies and TV, like they absolutely lead the media circus around Comic-Con, but inside the actual convention center, like there's so much comic stuff, like you basically can't turn a corner without running into comic stuff. Like anyone who says that is basically only watching the news and not actually attending the convention.
Yeah, exactly. Or looking at the schedule.
Yeah, basically. All right. Shall we move on to offsites?
Yes, let's do that.
Hooray. So Comic-Con was announced just the other day by the Comic-Con Museum. It's moving. It previously is usually the weekend before Comic-Con, but it is moving earlier in July and is going to be at the Comic-Con Museum this year. And it's supports the Helen Woodward Animal Center up in, I think, Escondido or Rancho Bernardo. Forgive me if I'm wrong about that. And it is, all I know, I have yet to be able to go to it, but I'm hoping to go this year because it's earlier in the month, which makes it a little bit easier. But all I know is adorable dogs in costumes. And it seems totally
worthwhile. And it's closer this year.
Say that again?
It's closer this year because it's at the museum?
Yep. Yes. And so tickets are on sale now for $10, and it supports the Animal Center, which is great. And all sorts of games and activities and stuff for kids and trivia. And it sounds really, really neat. Plus, just another amazing event at that amazing venue. So that'll be fun.
Will be fun. So another event that got announced this week is that they're bringing back Ready Party One, which first appeared last year. And basically it's just a fun fandom type party that anyone can go to. Tickets are on sale now. They have some cool stuff going on there. They've got dance music. They've got drinks. They've got a Back to the Future band, the Flux Capacitors. We did not go last year, but pretty much everyone I know or I've heard who went loved it. So I've heard it was a really good event. Early bird VIP and maybe regular VIP are sold out right now, but they do still have plenty of general admission tickets if you are interested in that. So you can go grab that now. And I'm looking right now on the site. Actually, it looks like there are exactly 5 VIP tickets left. So if you want to attend as VIP, you should maybe get on that.
And veteran artist Ken Lashley is doing a fan experience where you can have dinner with him and get a whole bunch of exclusive stuff. It is going to be Thursday, July 18th at 7 p.m. at the Buca de Beppo down there in the gas lamp. It's $300 per ticket, but you get you get the dinner. You also get a 9x12 sketch of your choice, a Spider-Man 18 hue with Remark, a CGC yellow labeled signed comic, autographed toy, signatures on 5 items of your choice, limited edition prints, a Lead Killa t-shirt, a lanyard, a raffle ticket for a chance to win a Lead Killa mega box. Basically, a whole bunch of stuff. So if you're a fan of Ken Lashley, this is a great chance to sit down and have dinner with him and get a bunch of stuff.
That sounds like a bargain. That's a lot of stuff,
right?
Plus the meal.
So a lot of stuff.
Is it all you can eat there? Because that might make my decision.
I don't know.
But the things that you order are usually shareable, so they're usually in really large servings.
Large portions?
Yes.
Okay. Sounds like a good deal.
Yes.
And I also wanted to mention that Comic-Con night is tomorrow at the Padres. So that's kind of fun. I love that our city still celebrates a little bit early, and the baseball team that's normally out of town gets involved. So tickets are on sale for that, and it's tomorrow night. I think it's a 7:00 game.
They have a sweet hat for that too, right?
Yeah. So yeah, it's a special ticket, and then you get a Comic-Con logo hat. And last year it was a very colorful hat. This year it's kind of toned down with just the logo, very simple. It's nice looking. And there's a masquerade that people can sign up for people that have the ticket. So that'll be fun too. I'm gonna go check it out. So I will be there. Be a lot of fun. Excuse me. So also announced, and I'm behind, I apologize everyone, but a few things were announced that I am catching up on. Miles McKenna, a YouTube star, was bringing his Stuck in 2005 tour to the House of Blues, which will be Saturday, July 20th at 7 p.m. And tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. for anyone that's interested. I believe since last week, and forgive me if I'm wrong, the Sherlock CC was announced. Scavenger hunt coming.
I think that was announced early last week because I know we talked about that podcast. But
you guys probably know.
I don't think registration is open yet, so that's what we're waiting on right now for that.
I can almost get it, but I'm not quite there yet for that information. And did Wayward Cocktails get announced since you last spoke?
Yeah. Yes. Or no, that was before.
You already did it. Well, you guys know better than I do at this point, so
that's okay.
Move on.
You can find whatever is announced on our calendar always.
Exactly.
And it's a cool new look, and it's got colors and photos, which is exciting. So
color coded. We're not.
That's right.
We always have to ask what the colors mean, but we'll figure it out.
They probably mean nothing to anyone but us.
It's a nice looking calendar though. I used that calendar a lot last year, and this one is a vast improvement. Very clean.
Yes, agreed.
Love it. Especially on mobile. Very good.
All right. So we are going to talk about exclusives now. And James, I think you finished talking about Factory, right?
Yes, we did. We went through all 4 of Factory's exclusives.
All right. So Erin, do you want to talk about Alex Ross?
Sorry, I was still muted. I saw, so Alex Ross tweeted a new monkeys image, and he used the hashtag SDCC 2019. So we're assuming that this is going to be an art print, probably a giclée print. You can't beat Alex's like facial likenesses. They're pretty great. And his giclée prints are really, really nice. So I'm assuming that, Alex maybe felt a little nostalgic and inspired when this last, I think it was February, that Peter Tork passed away. So he's doing this monkey. So it's a really nice looking print. It's a really nice looking tribute. I like Alex's stuff. He's grown on me over the years. I almost like it more when he does like actual people rather than the superhero characters. That might be blasphemy, but I like his facial likenesses.
No, that's perfectly fine. So someone else who announced some things this week was Tamashii Nations. They are bringing back their Dragon Ball tour. This time it's going worldwide, but one of the stops is going to be in San Diego. I think maybe that's the first stop, but don't quote me on that. But they are going to be doing some exclusives again to go with it. And while they haven't confirmed this yet, I'm very much assuming it's going to be like last year, where the exclusives were not at the actual offsite, but instead they were just at the Bluefin Tamashii Nations booth. But we will see, but that's my guess. But the first one that they announced is a SH Figuarts Sun Goki Kid Event exclusive color edition. It looks pretty cool. There's no word yet on pricing or really anything else, but it looks cool, and I'm expecting some more stuff from them soon.
So we do have some questions, which we will get through. Johnny Quick asks, is your Sunday party going to be ticketed this year?
No, it is not, because I literally say this all the time, what throwing two $20,000 parties to stop me is that I don't like doing that. So our tickets will never be ticketed. So it will be free, but I don't have a location yet, basically.
Yeah. And also, Night Bodega asked, is the Comic-Con Museum open all week? Which someone did answer in the chat, but I wanted to make sure that everyone heard this. No, the museum is not officially open, but they hold events there. So I would expect that the museum is probably going to get used fairly regularly during Comic-Con. I know they're doing that one like opening night event, the Batman event. So expect to see some things at the museum, if not every day, at least a few days during Comic-Con week.
Yeah. So I'm going to go a little bit out of order here. So Lister of Smag just asked in the chat, did they have any freebies at the Dragon Ball offsite last year? Yes, they did. I know we did a post on them. They had like a bag and some hand fans and a couple other things. Somebody in the chat said a keychain too. Yeah. So I'm sure they'll do something again this year. And then Night Bodega asks.
Well, there's also, do you need a badge to get into the Dragon Ball offsite?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure anybody could walk through that.
Okay. And then what was the question?
So you know what the question is. Night Bodega asked, does James have a longer beard this week? James?
Technically, yes, because I haven't shaved in quite a while. I think since WonderCon, actually.
That's quite a while.
It's been a little while. We'll see if it lasts till Comic-Con or not. This is definitely going to go away. I look really old with that. So we'll see about the beard.
So Night Bodega asks, when are badges being shipped? Not today. John Kim asked if it's using the Children's Museum this year. That is a wonderful question. And Sci-Fi has used it the last 2 years. Is that right, Kim?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2 years. So I would say that it's fairly likely they're back, but I don't know that for sure. I can tell you who's not using it, and that's Nerd HQ. Too soon. I know.
But
I know.
James Binder also asked, any word on Nerd Night yet? No.
So we usually don't, for all those kind of parties, truthfully, those don't really start getting announced until usually like late June, early July. You guys are probably about a month too early.
Okay. So now it's time for what we've all been waiting for. And that is the Taco Bell box. You've heard about it.
Okay.
You've wondered about it. And now you can see it.
It's been in my house.
Ooh.
It was in your house before I got it. So I've had a lot of people ask me about the super box, and I just fail and have never made a video. So when I unplug this here in a second, it's probably going to start talking at me. But basically, so Taco Bell did that amazing Demolition Man offsite last year that was basically like the coolest thing at Comic-Con last year. And last year had a lot of really cool things at Comic-Con. But Taco Bell sent me the greatest thing that I own, as it turns out now. It's basically a box from Taco Bell that's worth a couple $100 in my opinion, but it's amazing. So let's do this. So if you open it up.
Hello, citizen of 2018. I hope this message from 2032 reaches you again.
So it's got video, and this changes color.
Taco Bell did in fact win the franchise.
They won the franchise wars.
Challenged the burger folks by debuting natural fries. 2. Now every restaurant is a Taco Bell. We are celebrating the Demolition Man pop-up and a futuristic and upscale Taco Bell dining experience in Sector Diego, which you call San Diego, July 19th to the 21st.
So that goes on, but it's very cool. But it also has like a neat little thing that has my name on it. So that's personalized. That's super cool. It came with a little flash drive that has some photos for the event. I got like a letter welcoming me to be a citizen, an honorary member of the San Angeles Media Guild of 2032. And then it also came with some merch. So there's like, this is that hoodie that they had. Again, this is like terrible angle, but that's cool. There was a t-shirt in here somewhere. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, that is the Taco Bell box.
It's amazing. I mean, honestly,
It's truly amazing.
Everything that they did for last year, it's just crazy. And one thing that pop-up made me do is watch Demolition Man, which I'd never seen. And I kind of loved it. And it filmed in San Diego. It's filmed.
yes, for like
right in downtown.
one scene or a couple of scenes, you can actually see the convention center that they
Yeah,
run
it
up.
was crazy. And I had no idea when we were sitting in Demolition Man Taco Bell.
Yeah, but
Great.
it was an amazing event, and thank you so much, Taco Bell, for my very lovely box. That again is basically the coolest thing I own now.
Is that
And it
the,
was so funny. When I got home, I was like trying to tell people, I was like, Taco Bell, get me a box, and it was so cool. They were like, okay.
Why did it have like 12 tacos instead of 10? Was that why it was cool? Is that the question
Right?
you got?
They got
Right.
seriously what they thought. They were like, okay, you got a Taco Bell box. Good for you. So it's amazing though. All right.
Okay, so we
Let's
had a
see.
few more questions while you were showing off your awesome box. John Kim asked, any new pins from you and your team? Yes, we will have some new buttons this year. I think we've already started work on a couple, but we will brainstorm a few more and have some new ones. Plus some, I think we'll have a few returning favorites, the logo or something like that. But basically, we're going to have hopefully an all new set of pins this year.
And we just finalized the t-shirt that we're going to give away this year. And I think we're all pretty excited about it. I am.
We are very excited about it.
Yes.
Night Bodega asked, is Petco having any events inside the field? We'll wait and see, but they usually don't have anything on the field regularly, correct? It's usually just like one special event here or there.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm trying to
movie viewing the one year.
Like they did a movie screen. They did Serenity one time.
Yeah.
But usually they want to keep the field nice, so they
Yes.
usually would not let anyone out on the field.
Right.
Yes.
So maybe they'll do some stuff inside the concourse like they have in the past, but we'll wait and see what that is.
Their listener Smeg asked, since Funko did their Fanatics Fun Days Lotto, when do you think we'll get news of the regular sale? Yeah, so as we talked about last week, basically what happens with Fun Days is if you are a Funko forum member, they offer a small number of tickets basically to their forum members, and you have to register and sign up, and then they decide basically if you're worthy. And they sent out announcements today saying, hey, you get to buy a ticket. And I think they have like 24 hours to purchase. Last year, they did a second round of those for a small number of people. I'm assuming tickets that weren't claimed within the first 24 hours. So I'm guessing that's going to happen tomorrow. And then I have no knowledge whatsoever, but I am vaguely hoping that maybe we get an announcement either Friday or Monday, but I don't know. So my
I
answer
think last
is
year it was the 22nd, I want to say, for the
Okay.
sale. So I'm sure we heard maybe a week or a few days before.
yeah. So my answer is the same as with everything. Soon. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see.
I
Real quick, a couple more questions. Nibadega asked, is it a Gary t-shirt? No, we did a Gary t-shirt last year. And I think that's it. Right?
I think that is it. So, in summary, if you need a badge or someone you know needs a badge, we do have a contest hub on the site. So any contests or offers or whatever that show up with official contests for badges, we will put those in the contest hub.
And there's always a couple. I'd also just like to mention real quick that if you are a big art person, like I am, now is really the time to be paying attention to our under the tent sections. Not only do they have a ton of really awesome little tidbits in there, but a lot of artists lately have been announcing their commission lists. Like Chris Uminga actually just announced, I think, yesterday, his commission list. So if you want to get on any of those, be paying attention now.
And if you are a creator or an exhibitor and you want us to mention your stuff on Under the Tents, just maybe shoot us an email. I think is that the best way to get a hold of us?
Yes. Email is usually the best way. And our email is sdconmicon.blog@gmail.com, or you can always tweet us, but email is usually the best. Just to make sure we see it.
Yes.
Absolutely. And
And
our
then-
attendee of the week is running full steam. So if you would like to be our attendee of the week, we pick them each week and showcase them on Friday. So head on to the website to our attendee of the week post and check out how to enter.
Yep. Prize Mule will also be back this year. I am working right now on getting all of our sponsors lined up, which should be another really amazing year. We always have some really cool stuff to give you guys, and I think this year will be no exception. And then
we have a new prize mule in the prize mule family.
Yeah, we do. That's right. Aaron.
I am really excited to participate in that. You guys have talked it up. You guys have gotten me excited, so it better live up to the hype.
It won't.
Better. like so many things at Comic-Con, it will not live up to the hype. No, I'm really excited.
Prize Mule is actually really fun because we get to talk to you guys in very small doses.
And watch you run up and be out of breath and do whatever little task that we've said to do. Which last year it was like a lot of say somethings. I think this year I'm going to switch it out to be do somethings. So
and we've done that in the past. You and I did. We made somebody sing the theme song one year. Sarah and I made somebody make up a song on the spot. We've done some fun ones in the past. So I think that's a good idea.
I'm just saying some people may want to keep a pair of tap shoes in their backpack if they want to hunt for the prize mule or something like that. I'm not guaranteeing I'm going to make you do that, but it's just, just to be prepared.
That's right. James Binder asked, are we doing cups of water this year? I still have cups left over, so odds are very high.
I have no knowledge of the cups happening, so I got to stay on top of it this year.
It was literally just like James, me, and Sarah, like on a street corner for like half an hour one day.
Just sitting there, standing there near the Omni, just like, look, here's a patch of grass. Let's give out some cups of water.
And then at the end, it's like we couldn't even like give the bottles of water away. People were like, "We don't want this." Like
it's a sealed bottle of water. Just take it. It's gonna be thirsty later,
right? We had like 4 left, and like nobody wanted them. It was really great, actually.
Whatever.
All right, so PaceyCon is also going to be back this year. It will be on Sunday night, exact time and venue TBD, TBA, all of that. But like I said, I'm really going to try to do a couple more giveaways this year. In fact, I even bought one of the giveaways the other day, and it's sitting in a box over there, and it's kind of amazing. I might show that off on the podcast next week.
Mm-hmm. And did we want to announce anything else about it, or are we just gonna say you're gonna want to be there? You're gonna want to get some of the giveaways that we give away next year or this year. So, yeah, PaceyCon.
I didn't want to wait.
Tease. So.
Okay, so join us live, just like this, if you're listening live, every Wednesday until Comic-Con for all the news, views, and special guests leading up to SDCC 2019.
And you can also sign up for our newsletter. I think there's a link on the sidebar, but if not, there's definitely one in the show notes. And we are actually sending them weekly this year. Oh my God. This has not happened in like 4 years.
Shocker.
Get excited.
10 years in, and we're just like tightening things up and getting things done.
Only took 10 years.
So in closing, thank you all for joining us. Kim, where can we find more of your work on the internet?
Thanks, James. I am Outside Comic-Con on Twitter and Instagram. And Aaron, where can we find more of your work on the internet?
You are muted, Aaron.
Unmute.
Oh, thank you for telling me. I'm on Instagram and Twitter at Bavarian Aaron. And Carrie, where can we find more of your work on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter at Carrie Dixon, if you can spell it. James, where can we find more of your work on the internet?
I am at Dan Riegel everywhere on the internet, Flickr, Twitter, everywhere. Also, thank you to Beth, our producer, for editing the show, creating and showing the slides, and all the other little things that get this podcast done.
Yes, thank you so much, Beth. We are also on iTunes. If you would like to subscribe, the links are up in the blog, or you can search for SDConCast. If you like what you've heard so far, please review us. We are also on Stitcher Radio. The link is in the show notes.
If you want to get a hold of us, you can send us an email at sdcomiccon.blog@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/sdconblog, or tweet us at sd_comic_con. Thank you all for listening. Everybody, go Shawarma. Come on, guys, you got to join in.